This is JPG Radio.
Hi, my name is Zach, and I really love music. It's a pertinent part of my life, and I've been making these reels or like TikToks of me discussing music and rating albums or whatever the case may be. And recently, I just haven't had time to allocate to editing them. And it's made me sad because I still want to discuss music and I still want to get my opinions out there and just, talk freely about music. So I wanted to start this kind of series where I just discuss whatever I feel like discussing about music and the sphere, like the music sphere, I should say. Kind of like a quasi podcast in a weird way, minimal editing, kind of like in vein of this other YouTube series I have where I discuss philosophy or like whatever I feel like discussing in general. I kind of want to do that, but with specifically music. And I hope you guys enjoy. I'm definitely gonna keep doing this. Will I still be making the reels and TikToks? Probably, when I have time. And if you want to check them out, I'll put my handles on screen somewhere. But I just kind of want to freely discuss music. And I thought this first episode would be great to discuss Playboi Carti's I Am Music. It's been a month and a half since it's been out, and I kind of just want to talk about it and get my opinions across. But before we talk about that album, I would like to just discuss Playboi Carti a bit and like my journey with Playboi Carti. That sounds super like religious or like deep, but it's not that deep. Playboi Carti came out with Mongolia. That was his first major hit. I really fucked with it. Then he came out with his self-titled project, which was just called Playboi Carti. And that was a great project. It helped that at the time I was a huge A$AP fan, and New Choppa was definitely my favorite. It still is my favorite song on the album. I love New Choppa. I love the beat. I love, Playboi Carti's vocals. I love A$AP's vocals on the song. And it truly is just one of my favorite songs of all time, probably in my top 30 or 40 for sure. And so that cosign definitely blasted off my love for Playboi Carti. Die Lit came out next, which was a great record too. Amazing record. The Lil Uzi cosign was amazing on it too, because I was a big Uzi fan at the time as well. So this guy was just collaborating with a lot of my favorite artists at the time, and it really appealed to me. I really liked that album as well. And then I was met with Whole Lotta Red, and I was so excited to listen to another Playboi Carti record. I was like waiting for what Playboi Carti had in store down the pipeline, but Whole Lotta Red was just so fucking bad. Like, I don't understand the appeal of the album. Again, it's in the eye of the beholder, right? It's like art is subjective, but I really just don't get it. Kanye, I don't want to speak too much about Kanye in 2025. That's a whole different video topic, but Kanye produced most of the album, and excuse me, I'm sorry, I'm coughing. Kanye produced most of the album, I'm pretty sure, and he even featured on the album, and he couldn't save it. It was just a complete, utter shit show to me. Apparently, I sit in the minority because a lot of people enjoy the album, but I just couldn't wrap my head around it. I listened to it in its entirety the first time it came out, and it just felt like Playboi Carti was like rapping into an NES. Not to say that necessarily sounds bad, but I just felt like it was executed extremely poorly, and it just felt super lazy and sloppy. I didn't like it at all. And that's not to say that I didn't give it, the time of day again. I definitely gave it multiple chances, because I think 2 years ago I sat down and listened to it again, and I was just like, what the fuck? Like, I had seen that people were still vibing with it, still talking very highly of it, and I was like, maybe I just like didn't understand it. But no, I really fucking hated it the second time around. I actually probably hated it more the second time around than the first time around, because I knew what I was expecting. And then I listened to it for a third time like a couple days before I Am Music dropped, and again, my opinion didn't change. It was just like the worst fucking thing I've ever heard. There is absolutely no good songs on that album to me. I've never gone back and listened to it outside of the entire album listening experience that I've done 3 times. There's nothing on that album of value, and I don't understand the hype about that album. So when I Am Music came out, I was kind of skeptical, and if it wasn't for his generational run before I Am Music, I would have definitely just been like fuck it, I don't want to listen to this. But he was truly on a generational feature run. He had that feature on the Camila Cabello song. Camila Cabello song, what the fuck is it called? Love It, I think. Great song. Just even her part, like I'm not even a Camila Cabello, I can't even pronounce her name, so clearly I'm not like this huge fucking Camila Cabello fan, but her part was great. Carti's verse on it was fucking spectacular, and I was like, oh damn, we're getting OG Carti back. Like, we're getting OG Carti back. He then dropped like I think 3 or 4 songs in 2024, including the song 2024, Backrooms. Backrooms is a fucking amazing song. It's probably my favorite Playboi Carti song to date. It's just a great song. And I was really looking forward to I Am Music after hearing those songs, like Evil Jordan especially. But yeah, I was looking forward to I Am Music. I was like, oh, we're getting Playboi Carti, you know, with like the opium kind of vibe, but it's not like Whole Lotta Red where it's just nonsense. And like, you know, I was really looking forward to it. But unfortunately, I was met with I Am Music, and I was extremely disappointed. You know, I am disappointed. No pun intended. Yeah, the album is just fucking weird. I want to start off by talking about Swamp Izzo. I don't want to trash him too much on this album. I think he's a really good producer, and he definitely has his niche. But I found that a lot of the songs were very copy-paste. A lot of the instrumentals were very copy-paste. And I don't want to say it's like Whole Lotta Red, because Whole Lotta Red, again, it felt like he was rapping into a Sega Genesis. This album just feels like he wanted to go full opium. And the reason why I bring this up is because I saw recently an interview with Swamp Izzo on Vlad TV, and he was talking about how he wanted to make this album like, I don't know, fucking like genre-less. Like, he wanted to define genre, like the definition of genre, and just make a song, like an album that defined like music as a whole, which is definitely not this album. I don't know what like pack he's smoking on, but you know, you're not sitting there making a country album and then making not a country album, but you're not sitting there making a country song, a dubstep song, a fucking folk song, a jazz song, and just compiling it into one album. It's definitely a rap album. So I don't know what he truly meant by that, but I have to disagree with him 110%. This album, sorry, it's like 11:16 at night. I'm kind of tired, but this album is definitely classified as a rap album. And if you really want to get super like niche with it, you can classify it as an opium album. But also Carti was the forefather of opium, right? Like I think that's his record label too. And he definitely shepherded the way for people like Ken Carson and Destroy Lonely to continue to make like the genre of opium. I would classify opium as a genre at this point, but that's just my opinion. But yeah, he definitely shepherded that, and it's an opium album. It definitely has a genre. I don't mean to disrespect Swamp Izzo, but I don't know what he's on about. Like, it's definitely not genre defying. It's definitely actually the complete opposite. It's like pinpointing a specific genre and like definitely doubling down on that genre. So yeah, a lot of the songs sound the same. I'll just go through the track list real quick because I actually forget a lot of the song names. Okay, there's Pop Out, which is probably the worst fucking song like I've ever heard. It's worse than anything that's on Whole Lotta Red, which is actually scary. And imagine that being the opening track. The opening track, how I look at it, and I use Drake as an example, but there's a plethora of artists that have very strong opening tracks to their albums. But Drake is one of those artists, that really like hones in on that opening track aesthetic, where it's like I have to make my opening track like a hook. Like, I need my listeners to be like, oh, this album's gonna fucking go hard as hell. And Drake is gifted in that way. So I call it like the Drake effect. I actually shouldn't call it the Drake effect, because I think there's already something coined as the Drake effect, which is when he features on a track. But regardless, you know what I mean. He's very strong when it comes to opening tracks. So listening to Pop Out as the opening track and immediately pausing it, because I was like, what? Like, there's no fucking way. And 9 times out of 10, I will not pause an album when I'm listening through it. I'll make sure I always look at like the album runtime, and I'll make sure that I listen to the entire album when I have the chance in its entirety, whether I'm like at work or like, I don't know, like going on a walk or something. It doesn't matter what I'm doing, but I make sure that if I'm listening to the album in its entirety, I don't want to be disturbed. Like, I want to be doing something for sure, but I don't want to be disturbed. So I never usually pause, but like pausing on the first track and being like, dude, what the fuck is this, is a terrible sign. I was honestly scared. Because like I said before, like 2024, Carti released songs, they were good. Carti had great features, like the Camila Cabello's feature. Oh, and Timeless. Timeless was a fucking amazing track. I love that song. It's such a great track. I was looking forward to this album to a certain extent, and then having pop out, just, I guess, like, no pun intended, pop out on me, was just like, no, there's no fucking way. I'm not getting a whole lot of Red 2, am I? Like, I was so disappointed. Anyway, I let that track play through, and I was heavily disappointed. The next song was Crush. Decent song. Travis Scott definitely carried the song. K-pop, trash. Evil Jordan is good. I like the new opening to it, like the popular kind of sample, and like it's a great song. I actually like Evil Jordan, so you know, that's there. By the way, I'm not gonna count Backrooms. Because Backrooms is one of my favorite Carti songs, if not my favorite Carti song, but it only came out on like the deluxe, quote unquote deluxe version of I'm so tired, man. It only came out on the deluxe version of I Am Music, so I'm not going to count that as like an original track list. I'm just going through the original 30 tracks, which is another thing in itself, because like the album is way too fucking long. And like I said before, a lot of it's rinse and repeat, a lot of it's copy paste. So it just felt like at one point I felt like my ears were just numb. I couldn't listen to music anymore. It was actually a very petrifying experience. So definitely, album was way too long, way too many random fucking retarded songs that I don't think should be even like released in general. Like, I don't, they're releasing Baby Boy, I think, soon, which is like the second Swamp Izzo / Playboi Carti album. And like, whatever. I just hope it's not diluted like this album. But yeah, so we're at Evil Jordan. So Evil Jordan was a good song. Mojo Jojo, definitely trash. It's just Kendrick Lamar saying random shit while Playboi Carti barely is audible and barely saying anything. Fucking trash. Kendrick Lamar is on 3 different tracks on this album. And just as a side note, I think, like, I don't want to get too much into this, but the Kendrick Lamar and Drake beef is so massive. I definitely think Kendrick Lamar came out swinging, and he did win the battle, I guess. I think Drake put out a very, very good rebuttal, not with the Heart Part 6. That song is pretty fucking trash, and his AI song was pretty fucking trash too. But like, Family Matters is actually a very solid song. But nevertheless, I think Kendrick definitely won in that regard. But Kendrick being on this album just kind of rubs me the wrong way. He has the audacity to, well, not the audacity, but he calls out Drake for being a bad father, right? On Euphoria, he talks about, oh, I got a son to raise, but you don't know nothing about that. And then he collaborates with like the biggest deadbeat father of all time, right? Like, Iggy Azalea has come out and said, like, yeah, I don't even know where this guy is. He visited like our son twice last year. Like, I just think it's very hypocritical, and it's kind of changed my opinion on the Drake and Kendrick beef. I personally am a Drake fan and a Kendrick fan, and I thought Kendrick won the beef. With Meet the Grams being like crazy. He didn't really have a daughter, so it took a lot of the punch out of that, but still, Meet the Grams is a fucking chilling song. Not Like Us, as much as it's overplayed and I'm kind of sick of it now, was a really fucking good song. The stuff he had to say on GNX was like a final nail in the coffin. Euphoria was my personal favorite song out of the entire beef. My second favorite song being Family Matters. Again, I don't want to get too much into this because I'm talking about the Playboi Carti album, but I just feel like Kendrick Lamar, collaborating with Playboi Carti after just calling another rapper a bad father is kind of bad taste. And it's kind of like riding this high horse and being a complete hypocrite. So that's just my personal opinion on the matter. But even at that, like just from like a music and a sonic like perspective, Kendrick Lamar doesn't really fit here, even on good credit, which we'll get to in a second. But anyway, Philly is the next song after Mojo Jojo. Definitely a decent song carried by Travis Scott. Radar is, I think, my personal favorite song on the album, and I actually really enjoy Radar. So I'll give Playboi Carti that. Radar, great song. Dun, 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 dun. Yeah, very earworm vibes. I think it was sampled from a Lil Wayne track, if I'm not mistaken. He actually references Lil Wayne on this a lot, so that's cool. I'm not the biggest Wayne fan, but I do respect Wayne and I do like Wayne, so that's pretty cool. Put a gun to my head and have me name 5 Wayne songs. I'm definitely getting that trigger pulled on me, but I definitely have vibed out to at least 5 Wayne songs, especially on that what's that album called? Pick the world up and I'ma drop it on your fucking head. I forget what that song is called. Shit. But yeah, anyway, Wayne has some great songs, so I definitely enjoyed that Playboi Carti shows his respect to Wayne. Fine Shit. Oh, sorry, I skipped the song. Rather Lie. Everyone goes crazy about this song, but it's not timeless. I think Timeless is almost like a perfect song that it's almost impossible to like compare it to like another track with Playboi Carti and The Weeknd. Popular was a great song, really good song in my opinion. And then they made Timeless, and it was like, oh my gosh, it got better. And then Rather Lie came out, and I don't mind Rather Lie. It's not in my rotation like Radar is. I don't mind it, but it definitely isn't as good as Timeless. So I think that's another thing too, where it's like, oh, this could be a potential banger. And then you're like, oh, well, it's good, but it's not anything remotely close to Timeless. It's not anything remotely close to Popular. So, I'll give that one like a 5 on 10. I definitely wouldn't press skip if it came on like shuffle. But I definitely am not also seeking this song out to play it, if that makes sense. Fine Shit, fucking whatever, who cares? Backdoor featuring Kendrick Lamar and Janae Aiko, whatever. Songs fucking whatever. Toxic featuring Skepta. I'm a big Skepta fan. I love UK drill rap. So yeah, Skepta definitely carried. Munyon. Song so bad I don't even remember this fucking song, to be quite honest. Crank. I remember Crank having like a decent beat to it, but it was very copy paste. Charge Them Hoes a Fee with Travis Scott and Future. Definitely a good song, honestly. Like, it's not like a terrible song. Again, it's like a 5 on 10. It's not like it's fucking trash. But again, I'm not sure if you see the correlation or like the pattern, but Travis Scott definitely carries Playboi Carti in these songs 110%. And also I'm a big Future fan, so the future feature, say that 10 times fast. Future feature. The Future feature definitely aided that song. But yeah, if it was just a Playboi Carti joint without those two guys, definitely a skip. Good credit with Kendrick Lamar. Again, Kendrick Lamar doesn't fit on this album. They tried with this song because they have that opening of that Vine or whatever. Not a Vine, it's a reel where they're talking about like good credit outside of a Home Hardware or something, which is definitely like a Kendrick thing. It felt like it was an opening to like a Good Kid, Mad City song. I really enjoyed the opening in that respect. Trying to like ease in Kendrick Lamar. But yeah, it's not something I go back to. And the fact that he's playing this at his GNX tour is fucking hilarious to me. But yeah, I See You Baby Boy, fucking trash. Wake Up Filthy. I wanted that song to be amazing because I like Filthy as a producer, but again, it's not that good. Jump In with Lil Uzi Vert, not bad. I'm really happy to see that Lil Uzi Vert and Playboi Carti buried the hatchet and they started making music again. But yeah, no, it's not anything to jump at. Yeah, give me a Netflix special. I'm fucking hilarious. Trim with Future. Again, Future carries. Decent song. Cocaine Knows. Fucking trash. We need all the vibes with Ty Dolla $ign and Young Thug. Only good part about this track is Young Thug. Everything else is trash. Olympian, it's all right. It's all right. It's I wouldn't even give it a 5 on 10, but yeah, again, this is the saddest fucking, like, I'm going through these songs and I'm just remembering them and I'm like, this is the saddest track list of all time. Opium Baby, fucking trash. Twin Trim, decent. I forget which one is which now. I know that both Lil Uzi songs are decent, but there's one that's like a minute and the other one's like 2 minutes or something. So whatever one's a minute is like the best one. So I don't know which one that is. Yeah, this is like Wheezy is actually not bad. It's not bad. I would give it a 4 on 10. This one got it, trash. Walk, trash. HBA, trash. Overly trash. South Atlanta Baby, I see a lot of people talking like highly of this song, but you know, it's fucking trash. The latter half of this album is pretty fucking trash. There's probably like 2 good songs that I go back to, and that's Evil Jordan and Radar. Like I said, the Weeknd song, Rather Lie, I wouldn't skip it if it came on my Apple CarPlay, you know, but I'm definitely not going back to it. And what's another song that and I guess Toxic. I don't know. The album is definitely a skip for me. I don't understand. Like I don't understand it. I really don't get it. People are going crazy about this album and they're loving it, but I just don't get it. I just don't get it. It's maybe I'm like Unk status now. Maybe I'm just too old to understand it. Maybe I'm actually like, I'm 26 years old. I'm not even that fucking old, but like maybe I'm just like too old to understand this type of music. I just don't get it. I know I've said that like 10 times, but it's the truth. Playboi Carti's early career was so phenomenal, and I see him like peeking through on this album, and I get excited, and then after it turns out to be some sort of random fucking like ear rape type beat, and like Playboi Carti just doing and I'm just like, fuck, man. Like, I know that he's known to do like the baby voice and to like mumble and shit, and I have no problem with mumble rap. I have no problem with it at all, but it's just like, fuck, man. Like, can I just get like fucking like 1 or 2 songs? Like, Radar is the only song that's like a nuanced Playboi Carti song, like a nuanced Playboi Carti vibe with like mixed in and coagulated well with like old Carti. And I'm not asking him to like keep making music like old Carti, because then you would never grow as an artist, but I'm asking, like, can we just get some fucking consistency? Because you have good songs that came out in 2024, and you got all these people hyped, like, oh, like, you know, old Carti is kind of back, and it with a new vibe, and like, you know, we're looking forward to this, and then all of a sudden you drop something like this, and it's just like, what the fuck is this? Pop Out, like, what the fuck is Pop Out, man? Like, Pop Out is so fucking bad, dude. Like, this song is so fucking trash. I've never heard something worse in my life. Like, I'd rather listen to Whole Lotta Red an entire time again than listen to Pop Out like 3 times back to back. Like, it's so fucking bad, and like, it's just really sad. It's just really, like, he's not music, dude. He's not music. Carti, you are not music, please. And like what I said before about Swamp Izzo talking about genre-defying album. This is not a genre-defying album. This is not a genre-defying album. You're not defying anything. You're just making like fucking like random drum kits on top of like, or you're just putting random drum kits on top of like Super Bass, you know. And I'm not even talking about Super Bass, the song by Nicki. Like, that would have been better. I would have rather listened to like an ear rape version of Super Bass than listen to this fucking album. Like, it's just so fucking bad. This album, like, is a 3 on 10, solid 3 on 10. I'm not even playing. Like, there are highlights, 110%. Evil Jordan, Radar, Philly's. I actually, you know what? I'll put Philly there. Philly's actually pretty good. I have Philly in my rotation sometimes, but like, the rest of it's just like forgettable, and it's sad. It's really fucking sad. I wish Playboi Carti put out something a little bit with more substance. I wish that there was I just wish there was cohesiveness. I wish it wasn't copy paste. I wish that he would have cut a lot of songs on this album, because then maybe I would have liked it a bit more and been like, okay, well, it's not that bad, guys. Like, it's not all copy paste, but like fucking 20 of your 30 songs just sound like one another, And then you got people like Kendrick Lamar on the album, which, again, I'm a Kendrick fan. Good Kid, Mad City is a fucking spectacular album. My second favorite song of all time is, if you're reading this, I'm Dying of Thirst. I'm so stupid. That's not the song name. Holy shit, I'm retarded. I'm so tired right now. It's actually crazy. Hold on. Sing About Me, I'm Dying of Thirst. Sorry, I had a brain hemorrhage for a second. But yeah, my second favorite song of all time. Like, my first favorite song is American Pie by Don McLean. My second favorite song of all time is Sing About Me, I'm Dying of Thirst by Kendrick Lamar. Okay, so I'm not saying that Kendrick Lamar is a bad artist. I'm just saying he doesn't fit on this record. He doesn't make sense. Like, fucking Mojo Jojo is a fucking terrible song, and him just going, I'm not even sure what he says anymore. I when I listened to the song, I remember I was in my car. I parked my car. Okay, that's what I do for a lot of albums too, like the newest Skrillex album, like the Andy Warhol album, or like the Fuck You Skrillex, You're Not Andy Warhol, or some shit like that. I park my car and I just play it, right? For big releases. I'm not doing this with every single album there, but like for releases that I'm looking forward to, or that I'm like eager to listen to, whether it be like Skeptical, like this album, or like the Skrillex album, because I'm a big Skrillex fan, I'll sit down in my car, I have it on my CarPlay, and I just vibe. I just vibe and I listen to the album. When I listen, like I sat down and I was like, what the fuck is this? I'm in my car listening to Mojo Jojo, and I'm just like, what the actual fuck? First of all, there's nothing related to Powerpuff Girls in this song. There's nothing related to the Powerpuff Girls in this song. Not saying you have to. I'm just saying that, like, there's not even a Powerpuff Girls sample. Or if there is, I'm not aware of it. I don't understand why it's called Mojo Jojo. Is it because you're a villain? Is it because you're a big green monkey villain with a brain that's like spewing out at the top of his skull? Like, what's going on? Like, what? I don't get it. Right? But that's a here nor there. The title actually is not anything to complain about. But like the song itself, I'm like, oh, Kendrick features on this song. I can hear Kendrick. But I'm like, what? Like, what's going? Like, is Kendrick gonna drop a verse? And I'm like, there's no fucking way that Kendrick's on 3 of these songs, and one of them he's just doing ad libs. He's just like, I'm just still in disbelief. I'm happy that I took a month and a half to record this, because when I first was listening to the album, if I did like a video like this, like as soon as I listened to the album, like I would have been yelling the entire time. I'd have been like super fucking vexed. Like, I just wasted, like, how long is the album, out of curiosity? It's 1 hour and 17 minutes. So it's like, I would have been like, wow, I just wasted 1 hour and 17 minutes of my life. Anyway, I'm going to stop ragging on it so much, because I think you guys get the point. I don't like the album at all. But I just don't understand the direction. But clearly, like, I just want to kind of spin this. Clearly, people enjoy it. Okay, so I'm not trying to yuck people's yum. If you enjoy the album, like, all the power to you. I'm not someone who's like, oh, I'm superior to you. Fuck yourself if you like this album. No. But, people clearly enjoy the album. It shot up to, like, I think it was like the fastest or like the most streamed album on Spotify. I'm not sure exactly. I'm not going to start like spreading fake news, but it definitely got some crazy accolades. And, people are still it's still in people's rotation to this day. Do I see people still talking about it as much as, when it first dropped? No, definitely not. I think a lot of the songs definitely got swept under the rug and, forgotten. But I still see people listening to Good Credit. Good Credit seems like it's a very popular song. And if that's your bag, then that's your bag, live your truth. But, it's definitely not my bag. And again, like even listening to it just sonically and not thinking of the Kendrick Lamar hypocrisy that I spoke of earlier about, like, you know, calling a rapper a deadbeat father and then actually collaborating with a deadbeat father, then, like, you know, it's just sonically not for me either. I'm just like, this is just a weird, like, this is just very weird. I don't want to hear Kendrick Lamar rap on an OBM type beat. Like, that's not like the allure to me about Kendrick. You know, I know a lot of people say this, but Kendrick is a very lyrical, very well-spoken individual when it comes to his raps, and that's what I'm kind of looking for. And that's not even my fault, really. Like, Kendrick has painted himself to be that artist. So, like, for me to say this and, like, people go, oh, like, whatever, he can do whatever the fuck he wants. Like, that's true, and I want him to continue his craft and do how he sees fit. But, like, he has painted himself as, like, this insane lyricist, this kind of, like, poet. And so to hear him just, like, kind of saying whatever the fuck and, like, just talking out of his ass on 3 separate songs just kind of, like, irks me. I'm like, this is not the Kendrick I know and love, you know? So anyway, whatever the case may be, this album is a definite 3 on 10. I really did not enjoy this album, and, like, the discography and, like, the legacy of Playboi Carti to me is kind of, like, stained. You know, I remember being a kid and listening to the Playboi Carti self-titled album, like I said previously, and just really enjoying it, and, like, it was kind of like my introduction to that type of rap. You know, like that, like, I listened to mumble rap before that, but it was kind of like well thought out mumble rap, if you can say that. And I really enjoyed it. And then Dial It was even better, and I'm like, holy, this is fucking great. And then, you know, Whole Lotta Red came out, and it just, like, I just wanted to shoot myself in the face. Terrible album. And at least, this sounds crazy, but, you know, I was ragging on the 30 song track list, but, you know, at least I got some replay value out of this album, because on Whole Lotta Red I got none. There's not a single song on Whole Lotta Red that I will replay. Not a single fucking song. And so I guess in that sense, like, okay, I got 30 songs, 20 of them were trash, but, you know, at least, like, 10 of them were decent, or I should say, like, 20 were trash, 6 were decent, and, like, 4 were replayable. You know, Philly, or maybe 3. Well, I'll put Rather Lie in there too. So let's say Philly, Evil Jordan, Rather Lie, and Radar. Yeah, we'll go with those 4. Are definitely replayable to a certain extent. But the rest of the album is definitely, like, not my bag. So yeah, that's my personal opinion. I want to speak about this for a while. This is a 32-minute voice memo, so I'll throw this into DaVinci Resolve and fiddle with it. Like I said, I still want to talk about music, and I do enjoy making those reels. And like I said earlier too, I'll leave my handles on the screen or in the description or something for my Instagram and my TikTok. But, you know, I still want to talk about music, and I kind of want to do it unfiltered like this and just not have any edits and just, like, speak my mind. So yeah. Anyway, that's my opinion on Playboi Carti's I Am Music. I think it's a solid 3 on 10. I think it doesn't hold much replay value. But again, this is my personal opinion, and if you enjoy it, you know, leave a comment and tell me why you disagree. We can keep it cordial. Or don't leave a comment, because it'll get, like, 3 views anyway, so who cares? But yeah, that's my opinion, and I hope that you guys enjoyed this type of content. And I definitely will continue making this content for the foreseeable future until I get time to actually, like, sit down and edit those, like, short little reels / TikToks. Okay, ciao.